Hey there, everyone. Ian and my good friend Tori of Joined by Gaming here at the Freakopolis Geekery, and we are adding our last member to our party for our upcoming real play adventure, Adventures in the Lands of Alaire for D&D. We have Gilroy, Leander, and we just made Earl on. Now we have Maylee. Let's just jump straight into putting Maylee to paper. What race is she?
She is human.
She's a human, which has a lot of implications in this world. Humans are actively making big changes in the world and whatnot. What age do you think she is?
Probably late 20s?
Yeah, maybe 28?
28.
Sure. She's had some time in the world, but she's young and ready for adventure and stuff. What alignment did you choose?
Neutral good.
Neutral good, which implies that she's a little bit more out for herself.
A little bit.
She'll do good things as a hero does, but yeah,
Well.
she's trying to make some cash or something along the side.
Exactly.
Did you choose an extra language? It's all right if not.
Not yet.
All right, we can figure that out later. And subrace is standard human, right? Which gives you the +1 to everything, which is utterly killer. Leaves you with better stats than any other race. Choose a class. What class is Maylee?
Class is Maylee. Fighter.
Fighter. Cool. Fighters just being martially capable people. She trained with weapons, and now she has become a first-level fighter. Skill proficiencies on your skill list. I see you have acrobatics and athletics. Great choices. The standard, physical abilities. She's fast. She's pretty good at that kind of stuff. And then she's proficient with simple and martial weapons, makes sense for a fighter. Light, medium, and heavy armor, and shields. She knows how to use it all. Her fighting style...
Archery.
Which is interesting. You see a lot of fighters choose to be, the upfront, very close quarters kind of fighter. Archery fighters I think they're super cool. Because there's so many classes that are like, I got this ability through magic, I got this ability through the gods. She's like, kind of like, the scene I was thinking of was Game of Thrones Season 1, where Arya totally beats everyone at the target practice. Like, that's how a archery fighter feels. Cool. And as a fighter, you get Second Wind, which allows you to regain a D10 plus your fighter level HP in the middle of combat. She is, even though she focused on the range, she's more than tough enough. And equipment, fighters get all sorts of options there. Not a problem. Alright, our ability score method, we use the standard array. So what does she get for strength?
Strength, I gave her 8. She's not very strong.
No, it tends to be that if you really focused in on that archery side of things, you probably lacked, not lacked, but didn't focus as much in the melee combat side of things. And then dexterity? 15, which gives her a 16 as a human, +3. She is very fast. Constitution? 14. She's tough. She's super tough. She's going to have comparable HP to Erlon and nearly twice as much as poor Gilroy. Intelligence? 13, which gives her a 14. She's bright, too. She's not dim-witted by any means. Perhaps not super well-read, but she could pick up on info quick.
Yeah.
And wisdom?
Wisdom,
12, giving her a 13. She's pretty perceptive, which leaves us our 10 for charisma, which gives her an 11. Not super personable, but not driving anyone away either.
Kind of right down to business.
Yeah, exactly. I like the sound of it. Cool. A background. We have to do custom because we only get Acolyte. But we had talked about this for a little bit, and you chose Soldier.
Yeah.
Makes good sense. She, as a young human, you said that she had grown up in poverty. Joining the armies of Farrenwell was a means out of that. She saw combat in the River Wars against Sarengar, and once that wrapped up, she went off and did her own thing.
Yeah.
Started kind of picking up mercenary work and whatnot.
Yes.
Interesting. Skill proficiencies. These ones. What else do we have skills in? I suppose probably picked athletics a little too. Going back on these skills when you get your background is always a thing. We got intimidation and perception. I think those are both excellent choices. Characters without perception, I'm afraid, have a tendency to fall into pit traps and stuff. That'll help quite a bit. As a soldier, you also get a tool proficiency, I believe, but unless you picked one which I don't necessarily see here. We could pick
yet.
one in the future. Yeah, maybe she carves statues or something like that. That one's so flavory. Language proficiencies. Does she have any additional languages yet?
Outside of Common, not yet.
Not yet. All right, that makes good sense. They speak Common in Farrenwell, and Farrenwell is predominantly humans like you. So there's not too much interaction with the other races so formally that you'd have to learn their other language. So that's cool. And then custom background feature is your rank, I believe, as a soldier. And you were probably a pretty frontline fighter. Not a general or anything along those lines. So, we don't have to go into that in particular, but I know that it implies that if you were to meet other members of your platoon or whatever, they would respect you, is essentially what that background feature permits. And then personality traits. I see you've chosen a few here. I face problems head on. A simple direction is the best path to success.
Yeah.
That makes good sense. As kind of a mercenary-esque character.
She's very clear on the direction she wants to take with things.
Cool. I face problems head on. Kind of abbreviate these. Whoa. Face. There we go. Head on. Cool. Her ideal. Our lot is to lay down our lives in defense of others. So that's where the good comes in. She legitimately believes that this is, in the defense of innocence and stuff. So that makes good sense. To lay down our lives in defense of others. Boom. Cool. Close enough anyway. Bond. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. As someone that kind of uplifted themselves from poverty by joining an army, it makes good sense that she looks out for those types of impoverished folks. So that's cool. I fight for those who, or the oppressed or whatnot, and
yes.
Maybe that's part of the reason why she ended up doing mercenary work and going out on her own, is because the Farrenwellian armies are the oppressors at the moment. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
Basically anyone who reminds her of herself.
Of her younger self? Yeah, pre-joining the military there. And her flaw, I'd rather eat my armor than admit when I'm wrong. Oh, jeez.
A little headstrong.
Yeah. That's interesting. Then admit when I'm wrong. Now, you might find yourself playing straight into your flaw, as she was contracted by Gilroy to be...
Bad decision.
Yeah, she got caught up in something rough. Gilroy had a lead on something very interesting. Contacted you, hired you as some muscle, or, at least some protection, and that ended up going downhill, I'm afraid. Now you are on a red wagon, making your way north to the forward camp to fight the orcs, and you're probably not too happy with Gilroy for it. You have 12 HP at first level. She's tough, and then with second wind, she's even tougher. What kind of armor is she wearing?
Leather.
Leather makes sense. It has the mobility you need to be able to use a bow and dash about. You have choice of, I suppose, longbow, naturally. And then you can have a hand axe or light crossbow as a backup.
Probably light crossbow.
Sure, yeah. If the bowstring snaps, light crossbow she can whip out. And a Dungeoneer pack or an Explorer's pack.
Thinking Explorer's pack.
Yeah. She's probably at level 1, honestly. I find the Dungeoneering pack to be very specific. You're doing exploring. You're going across the land and stuff. In search of work as kind of a solo mercenary, Explorer's pack makes the best sense.
Going out on this job, she wasn't anticipating any dungeons.
No,
it makes
right.
much sense for her to have it.
Yeah, like, no one's gonna ask her alone to jump into a goblin cave, but defending a caravan or something, moving over land, that's definitely within her wheelhouse. She does not have spells. She does not get feats. Nice and simple. I like it, actually. I prefer it this way. And then we'll apply the changes. I like how she's coming together. I gotta say, her stats are impressive. Like, she's gonna be dangerous.
I'm excited.
So, on the quick overview, we have Maylee, the fighter level 1. She's a standard human chaotic good. Her strength is a 9 at a -1. Her dexterity is 16 at a +3. So you see where physically she's quite potent in some areas and a little lacking in others, but that's all right. Constitution of 15 +2. She's tough as nails. A 14 intelligence at a +2. She's pretty smart. Like I imagine part of that is her experience in the military and being underneath people who lead and whatnot. But yeah, no, she's bright. Like way more bright than the average human anyway. A wisdom of 13 +1. She's one of the more perceptive folks in the group, I'm afraid. And a charisma of 11. Yeah, like I said, she's not driving anyone away with her personality. She has a +2 proficiency bonus at first level, with a +1 to strength, so her martial training did make it so that when it really pushes you to it, she's not weak by any means. And a +4 to constitution, as well as a +3 to dex on the physical side of things and the mental side of things. She's pretty resilient, so that's cool. Definitely makes sense for a solo mercenary. She kind of needs to be well-rounded. And then she has a +5 to acrobatics, a +1 to athletics, +2 to intimidation, a +3 to perception, 14 armor class with a +3 to initiative. Thank God! I cannot tell you how good it is to have a character that is at the ready in this team. 30 movement speed, standard stuff there, with 12 hit points at first level. She's pretty tough. Her personality trait is I face problems head on. This probably spawned from her solo career, right? She learned how to, tackle these challenges alone.
Even before then, she was in a bad situation, needed to figure out how to get out of it, and just made a plan into it.
Right, yeah. Self-sufficient kind of planning. Yeah, I like it. It is our, not poor, our lot to lay down our lives in defense of others, just signifying her honor and duty in martial prowess in the army. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. She was poor when she was, young. Was she an orphan?
I don't know. She didn't have a lot of close family, so I think it was more of a general community that she was disconnected from.
Sure. So she might have had a guardian or something,
Yeah.
but she wasn't really a daughter to anyone.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, a tough upbringing that she clawed out of by joining the army. Makes good sense to me. I'd rather eat my armor than admit when I'm wrong. Stubbornness came along with that self-sufficiency. I like it a lot. Your fighting style is archery, but they're not counting for that. I believe that gives you a +2 bonus to attack rolls, so she's really sitting with a +7. She's deadly accurate with a bow. Like, I don't know any low-level enemies that you wouldn't hit with even a 10. So that's pretty awesome. And then she's definitely, she'll be proficient with short swords and stuff. Any weapon she can use dexterity for, she'll be good with. But with a bow in her hand, she's as good as, like, anyone. She also gets the second wind ability, which is pretty fantastic. It allows fighters to be really tough at low level. You roll a d10 plus your fighter level, gain that much HP as a bonus action. Nice. Really very straightforward character mechanically, but it sounds like with her backstory and her upbringing and her, adventuring experience thus far, she could have a lot to bring to the table for this party.
I think so.
Cool. Really glad to have Maylee on the team. And here you are looking at them, folks. Gilroy the wizard, Leander the paladin, Erlon a barbarian, and Maylee a fighter archer. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Keep an eye out for adventures in the Lands of Alaire coming very soon, and can't wait to have you at the table. Catch you later, guys.